Yes, everybody, welcome back to the Irish Hotspur. Jack and Dave here to give our reactions to the predictions that have been sent in to us ahead of our Southampton game. It's a final, maybe less important game before the big one on Thursday after Chelsea's nightmare with really how it just went down with Ange Postecoglou and the players and everything. I think Spurs fans are at a loss once again. We'll see what sort of predictions we have in store for us from our fellow content creators here in the Spurs universe of ours, but I'm wondering if Dr. Tottenham will show up with Southampton, and I'm wondering if these Spurs fans who send in these predictions, whether they're even getting angry with us, because these guys have been put through the ringer this season trying to make sense of this team. But we'll get into it, everybody. Give us your predictions in the comments, please. Let us know as well what you think ahead of this game. Smash the like button for us. But without further ado, let's get started off with Harry Scarf from Scarfy Spurs Talk and see what this guy has to say. And also, big up to Harry. He always sends them in nice and early. Absolute pro.
Hope you all big up. So pretty for Southampton this weekend. I mean, it doesn't really matter, does it? I hate to say that in context. The league's gone. Another defeat against Chelsea. I thought we were awful in that game, by the way. Just no identity, cohesion, unity. Just 11 individuals playing for themselves, not as a team. No structure, no guidance. And I do think the club, I've said it before, I think the club is rotten from top to bottom. I think we need to wholesale change. Really just also start again. But on this game, it's probably from now to the end of the world. No, it is our easiest game of the season, but you bet your money's worth that Spurs will make it difficult. And Southampton nearly won, didn't they, last time out against Palace? I still think there's a huge possibility that they break Derby's record for the wrong reasons. There's still, a point off that they need to ensure they don't. Dibbling, is the Southampton's main, I suppose, concern for us. We've got to keep an eye on. But no, this is just about, for me, resting players. Don't know what they need to rest at the international break, but resting players for Frankfurt and maybe giving them confidence somehow ahead of Frankfurt. If beating Southampton does give you that. I mean, it's a win at the moment, and we don't get enough of them. We've lost over 50% of our Premier League games, 16 defeats from 30. So, having said that, it feels strange when we win. Just a clean sheet as well would be nice. Confidence, that back line. Because Frankfurt, it's a massive first leg, because we know it's going to be really hard in the second leg. This is all about building confidence. Surely we win this. I'm going 2-0 Spurs.
Surely we do win this, Harry. You are right, but he's also brought up, Dave, like, what is the point of this game, really? Like, how much meaning can you really take from it? And that's a valid question. And of course, you would think that Ange is going to rest players, despite the fact that we did only just come back from a 2.5 week break, from the international break. Lots of good points by Harry, and I think he's about as confused as we are about this Tottenham Hotspur team.
No, 100%. I love the way he chuckled when he said about resting players. It's like, well, they don't need a break. Half of them didn't even go on the international break. He's absolutely spot on there. But look, I know he says this game doesn't really matter in the grand scheme of things, but I do think there's massive pressure on it now after the fallout of the Chelsea game. I think the whole fallout of the Chelsea game sort of puts even more pressure on the next game coming up, and I think it's a game that they've got to win. I think he's absolutely spot on. I think one thing you can put money on is us to make it difficult.
Yeah.
But if we beat them, we relegate them this season. We officially relegate them. So let's not forget, like, they do have something to play for to a certain degree. Their survival is on the line, and is their hunger for survival outweigh and outclass our hunger for the game at the end of the day. I think it's a tricky one. We could easily sleepwalk into a disaster here, especially if we've got players that are holding themselves back for Thursday.
And Harry, I just want to say that walk you were on looked lovely. The weather looked lovely.
Yeah.
Wish I could join you, on a nice little Friday night cruise with yourself. Look like really nice vibes, and thanks for putting up with us and sending these predictions, and making your walk probably less enjoyable. But thank you, sir. Appreciate you. Everybody check out his channel, Scarfy Spurs Talk. Now we're going to go over to Kate and Jimbo, who are together. They've answered the call. We'll get 2 for 1 over on that channel. And we'll get 2 predictions at the same time. Big up to Kate and Jimbo. Let's see what they have to say.
Big up, Dave and Jack. It's Kate and Jimbo from...
Kate and Jimbo.
Exactly. Hope you are well. Make sure everyone is liking and subscribing to this amazing channel. Coming back off of a terrible night last night against Chelsea, we are here to give our match prediction against Southampton at the Tottenham Stadium. Jim, you predicted us to beat Chelsea. How are you feeling about the Southampton game?
How am I feeling? I'm feeling all right. I think I'm a little bit numb to it this season. So, yeah, Southampton, we're all right. We go there, we kick their back. They come to us, we kick their backsides. And it put a smile on our faces for at least a week. or 4 days till until Frankfurt. But yeah, I'm predicting a win definitely. What are you predicting?
I'm predicting a win, but I'd like a bit more respect on my name because you give me loads of abuse for predicting Chelsea to beat us.
I apologise.
And you was wrong,
I
as
apologise.
usual. Okay. So what score are you going for?
I'm going to go for, I think it's going to be 4-0, 4-1. Can we keep a clean sheet? Probably not, so I'm going to go 4-1, the mighty Spurs. Come on.
I'm going for a 2-1 Spurs victory. I think it'll be tighter than 4-1. I don't remember the last time we scored 4 goals in a game.
I think we beat City 4-0.
Yeah, that was ages ago.
We beat Villa 4-1. I think I predicted both team scores as well.
But either way, we both predicted a win. Let's hope we have something to smile about come Sunday afternoon.
Well, at least you predicted a win for once in the blue moon.
And as always, come on, you Spurs!
Oh, that was adorable, lovely, and I feel like we absolutely got the a 2-for-1 deal there. I mean, as much as they think differently, the chemistry between them, you can see that it's there. Dave, it was like I don't even know, it's like a Chaz and Dave or whatever, I think Mia used to call us in the past and various people, it was a great dynamic between the two. I would love to see more of that. That was actually very enjoyable. It actually brightened my mood ahead of this game, to be honest.
No, look, it's class them two together, I think there's a couple of life lessons for us men to take away from there, though, just quickly. I noticed Jim was very quick to give her a kiss before he went to disagree with her. I think, you got to butter them up before you go to disagree.
True
and
that.
Also, when he was, he was wrong, he's very quick to apologise, you know what I mean? Happy wife, happy life. So I think there's a few life lessons there for us men to take away from there. But honestly, look, good to see the two of them sort of agreeing for once, Jack, over the score this weekend, that we're going to get a win. And look, like they said, hopefully we get over entertained, and we can just sort of enjoy the 4-day build up to the Frankfurt game then.
So everybody do check them out. Kate and Jimbo channel.
Brilliant.
Talk about great chemistry between them and also just seem to be great people in general. They've been very kind to us and you can tell they're great people over there. So show them some love, show them some support. One of the best predictions we've seen just in terms of just pure humor and also just nice vibes, really nice vibes ahead of the weekend.
Just quickly for next week, I was trying to figure out who the signatures are on that jersey behind you. I think, we need to unveil the secret next week.
Definitely. But let's move on now to Marlon from Spurs Kings TV. Like Kate and Jimbo, like Harry Scarf, we've asked a lot of these people this year, and we'll see what Marlon has to say after the Chelsea game. I imagine he's also had a head loss.
Dave, Jack, hope you're well. It's Marlon from Spurs Kings TV, and it is my prediction for Southampton. Look, I'm not going to get too much into Chelsea. As I said, I let him off. But the couple of the year, I ain't letting him off. But why the hell are we getting just mad at Ange Postecoglou? His boss on Monday already told us the same thing and told us he knows what he's doing and we don't. So, why in the world does Ange think he can do exactly the same thing? Of course he does, because his manager's doing the exact same thing. The person in charge is doing the exact same things to fans. So let's get to Southampton. It's one of them. I'm not confident. It's Tottenham. Leicester at home, 2-1. Ipswich at home, 2-1. Southampton need a win. They don't want to get relegated this weekend. Spurs have got a big game Thursday. Look, my heart says 5-0. My head says 2-1. I'm going to go with my heart. And I'm going to go 4-1. 4-1 Spurs, but we'll see, innit? Come on, you Spurs!
His head is kind of in the same place as our head. And then in terms of what we would go with the heart, it's also kind of similar, to be honest. Like, my heart would go for a 4-1 or a 4-0. I think Dave and I's head is kind of around like a 2-1. So, Marlon, I think you're in a similar boat to us. And when it comes to Spurs and making sense of them, man, and Ange Postecoglou, it's all over the place, really. And we'll just see what sort of salvation we can get from Sunday. And it's all about Thursday night. But please, everybody, check out Spurs Kings TV. Dave, anything to say to Marlon there?
Yeah, the one game he gives Postecoglou a free pass, Postecoglou goes and ruins it himself. He digs himself an even bigger hole. You can't write it, to be honest with you, Marlon. But no, Marlon pointed out there, they're up for it. We also have one eye on Thursday, and I think it's all the ingredients for it could be an absolute disaster on our end, and this is where it comes down to players going out there with the right aptitude towards this game. Look, I'm not sure I agree with his heart, the 4-1. I think, last four out of 7 games we've become scoreless. I just think, 2-1 is probably the safer bet, Marathon.
Well, he went with both the head and the heart, which is probably smart to do at this stage, as a Spurs fan. Everybody check out Spurs Kings TV, please. Great guy. He's been keeping this thing going for us, as plenty of these people have, these regulars on this channel predictions video that we've been doing. And so please, everybody, check them out, all these different people's channels. And now we're going to go down south. Wonder if this is a bit of a rivalry for him. Lee Dorset, south of Dorset Spur. Let's see what he has to say. We've also put this guy through the ringer this season, especially as a happy clapper. I do feel for him.
Tottenham have. They had about 10 holidays.
Well, maybe he gets some more lovely vacations to take his mind off of Spurs, but still, he does have to put up with us. And thanks for sending these videos in, Lee.
Jack, leader Dorset Spur here with my prediction for Southampton at the weekend. I don't think as a Tottenham fan I've ever been so depressed as I currently feel. I did predict a loss against Chelsea, but was secretly hoping in my happy clapper ways that wasn't going to be the case, and that we were going to get something out of that game. And it could have quite easily have gone that way in the end. But just concerned these players just don't seem to be into it at all. They're not giving everything that you would want from them, and that's a real worry. I'm not sure what we're going to get this weekend, but this is Southampton, the worst ever Premier League team. We've smashed them 5-0 at home, but it would be so Spurs to kind of let these guys back in, wouldn't it? With them getting a draw on Wednesday. So difficult one to call, to be honest with you. This should be an easy win by all accounts. We should be smashing these by 3 and moving on to the next game after that. So I'm going to go with that. I'm going to go with my happy clubber view on it and expect Tottenham to come out of this as a winner. I'm going to go with a 3-0 win. Up the Spurs.
Up the Spurs. Like I said, Lee, apologies that we've had to put you through this, this year with all these ridiculous sort of moments and having to just make sense of Tottenham Hotspur. But I'll take a 3-0. Would love to have one. I think Dave and I are leaving around the 2-1 point. And I think a lot of Spurs fans were like you, Lee, where maybe they weren't that confident of a result against Chelsea, but they were trying to get up for it. I was, Dave was. We went into the pre-match build-up with some good vibes. We were trying to sort of rationalize and, put together the context behind the game and, how can Spurs, manage to get in a good performance? What sort of expectations we have? We were just saying, listen, we just want to see effort, from these players. We just want to see them get up for a derby. The expectations are quite low. The bar is quite low. And still, we're finding it, hard to make sense of it all. But big up to you, Lee, man. And, I don't blame you where your head is at, even as from one happy clapper to another. I think I'm in a similar boat to you, sir.
No, 100%. Look, 3-0, I mean, it'd give us a nice little sort of confidence boost heading into Frankfurt game. And I'd argue, I think we need it. You lose that Southampton game heading into the Frankfurt game, all of a sudden, I think, many people are sort of left sitting around like, when's the next goal going to come from? How are we going to win this game? So I think, it's an important game, to sort of build up to this one. And I think if we were in form, we wouldn't even have any reservations about this game. Even if we went to make rotations, we wouldn't have any reservations. Everybody would be confident coming into it. But I think the fact that, we're seeing everyone, not really coming into this game with confidence, everyone's scared potentially about Dr. Tottenham turning up, probably shows where we are as a football club right now, which is not good. But also, Lee, I've always, caught the odd picture, your hand of the tattoo. Let us know next week what it is.
Yeah, he's got some good tats, good hair, the glasses as well, good style. Would love to hang out with that guy. Love
old school mobster.
Yeah, definitely. Big up to Lee, the Dorset Spur. Check him out. Also, do wonder if the Southampton game is a tad bit of a rivalry for him, knowing that he is in the lovely part of South England. Let's check out, lastly, Dermatron, THFC Till I Die. This happy clapper's been put through the ringer as well. Let's see what he has to say.
Doesn't look
Hi,
happy.
guys. This is Dermot.
It doesn't look too happy with that face before the video. You're right, Dave.
aka Dermatron from THFC Till I Die, home of Tottenham past, present, and some sort of future under somebody. And this is my match day prediction for Tottenham versus Southampton on Sunday. What's left to say? What hasn't already been said? We keep going from one crisis to another. We keep lurching from one defeat to another. We keep lurching from one knee-jerk reaction to another. Ange does something and then it's all blown out of all proportion. Players coming out, we understand the players are angry. The fans are angry. No shit, Sherlock. I mean, I'm glad the players have the brain power to work that out. Look, nothing's going to change until there's a massive change within the club culture, within the club hierarchy, and within the club itself. It's going to be the same old, and it breaks my heart to say that. I don't think we've got hope in hell's chance of winning the Europa League. We've got more chance of winning the Europa League than me dating Miss World. And that's how much chance. I mean, that's not going to happen, but you know what the point I'm making. It's just shocking. It is shocking. It is abysmal. It is embarrassing. And we can point fingers all we want. It ain't going to change what it is. Look, I'm always going to back the team. I'm going for a 3-0 win, but it is what it is. Come on, you Spurs in Big Andrew. Well, sorry, I was going to say in Big Andrew Trust, in Big and in somebody, I don't know. Just come on, you Spurs.
Dermot's at real head loss, Dave.
Yeah, look, it's hard to see, you know, Dermot's the eternal optimist, you know. But look, you know, he's absolutely spot on, you know. We can sit here and rant and rave about the manager and that, and look, rightly so, we've lost 20 games, you know, and I think, like we've said before, you know, it's not if, it's when it's going to happen. But, you know, Dermot is right, you know, there's a lot internally wrong at this football club that does need to change. Culture. Harry mentioned it at the start, identity, you know, there's so much that needs to be changed. It's unbelievable. Look, we're at the point now, just see the Premier League season out. Hopefully, Europe can give us a little bit of joy. Let's see if, look, fact that no one's confident going into this weekend says it all, really, Jack.
It does. Everyone, smash the like button for us, and please, please, please do check out these people's channels. Like I said, we put them through a lot this year, you know, trying to make sense of Spurs and trying to send in these predictions. So do check them out, please. And we'll see you all for Sunday for the watch along. With where Spurs are right now, it's good to watch it with somebody else. It's good to watch it with the Spurs friends. So watch it with us, please. We'd love to have you guys, and we'll see you all for it on Sunday. And check out Dave's predicted lineup as well, please. And come on, you Spurs.
Come on, you Spurs.